Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you about this app that comes in really handy when you are meal planning. I used to use this way back in the day when I was deciding what I was going to have for the week ahead, but now I kind of use it as almost a emergency backup plan in case something falls apart or I need to get something together really quick, or if I just want to mix things up and find new recipes in the future. So I don't rely on this for my meal planning system, but I think it's a really good tool to have in your toolbox. So today I'm going to be explaining what the app is, how to use it, and then the situations that I find it works the best in once you have that meal planning system in place. So what we're gonna wanna do is go to supercook.com or download the SuperCook app. Either one is fine. I prefer the web version, especially for this video, so I'm going to show you my screen here. When you get to the SuperCook app, you do have the option to create an account over here. The purpose of that is so you can save your recipes and so your settings don't change, and it's totally worth it because it is a free account. SuperCook is designed to take the ingredients that you give it and then show you recipes based on that criteria. You can also use this here where you can search for any dish. So if we were to type in pizza, for example, it would give us all these different recipes that will show based on that keyword. But that's not the original way that SuperCook was intended. Like I said, it's ingredients first is the main thing here. So what you would do is you would go through either categories where you're just opening each one and selecting what you have in your pantry or refrigerator, or you can actually go to type, and that's where you can actually type stuff in. If you have the app, you can also do a voice version of that. So you would click the button and you would be able to tell the app all of the things that you have in your inventory, and then it would just add that, which is really nice. But since I am not on the app today, I'm going to just select from the categories. So just for the sake of example, I'm going to go through all of these categories and just pick a bunch of random things, and then I'll speed it up and then I'll tell you how it works from there. All right, so I've clicked a bunch of random ingredients in the categories here, and then I also clicked some of these up here just to make it a little bit more realistic for what you might have in your pantry. There's some really interesting versions of cheeses and spices and different things that I personally wouldn't have in my inventory, and I think most people probably wouldn't either, so just tried to make it a little bit more relatable to everybody. But as you can see, it gives you all these different recipes, and actually from the 41 ingredients that I put in there, you can make 1,400 different types of recipes, different types of meals. So as I'm going through here, you can see it says that we have all the ingredients for these types of foods. If you are looking on here and you're like, oh, I do have butter, I do have onion, you can select all these things and it will update your list for you. Another cool thing that you can do with SuperCook is you can use these filters on the top so that it will make it more specific to what you're looking for in the recipe. So diet is, vegan, vegetarian, etc. Your key ingredient, I'll get to that in a second. Meal type is, if you're looking specifically for like dinner type foods. Cuisine, if you're into a specific type of food that way. And then key ingredient, like I said, that is where you can pick out one of the ingredients that you put into the list, and you can choose to focus on it or make that the priority. So I think a good way to use this feature is if you have, let's say, ground beef that's going bad, like you can't put it in the freezer anymore or whatever the reason is, or you just really want to get rid of it, you can select ground beef and then it will prioritize the recipes that for sure being in the main meal there. So I'm going to click ground beef. And as you can see, it makes sure that that is the main thing. So that would be a really great option for you if you are wanting to focus on that, or maybe you just want ground beef. That's just really what you're feeling. And then you want a meal that has that in there. So those are your options for that. Now, I believe I mentioned this earlier, but if you have an account with SuperCook, that way you can favorite the different meals so that you can come back to that later. I also believe that in the mobile app, you can make a grocery list. I personally wouldn't use that because I do my grocery shopping online. So what I would do is I would just have my online grocery shopping app or service online right next door to that window, and then I would add those ingredients just as we go. So that was a really quick crash course on how to use SuperCook, but I think it's a pretty simple app to use, especially if you just want to do something right away. You don't want to spend hours scrolling on Google or Pinterest trying to find the recipe and trying to figure out if you have the ingredients. So I think that would be useful. The only thing that's kind of a bummer is in the beginning, you do have to add all your ingredients, and that takes some time. SuperCook is a great resource, but I wouldn't recommend it to be your primary meal planning system. Instead, I would encourage you to use it as like the icing on the cake to your already efficient meal planning system. And if you're like, efficient meal planning system, that does not apply here, I would invite you to join Meal Planner Academy. In Meal Planner Academy, we take the drama and the overwhelm out of meal planning so that you can save your time, energy, and sanity for what truly matters to you. If you want to find out more, just go to katiereedcoaching.com/MPA. That's all for now. See you in the next video.